Stands for freedom. Stands for all the men and women that died to give us that freedom. I love them and thank them for doing that for us. But it's just what the American flag stands for. I love my country. Greatest country on earth. My dad was my hero. And he told me, he says, what do you do every morning when you get up? I said, well, whatever I feel like doing, really. He says, yeah, it's called freedom. Go defend it, just like I did and just like all your uncles did. He said, in fact, go join the Navy. So 2 days later, I told him to get in the car, and we drove to the Navy base, and I joined. I got really detail-oriented working on aircraft. And when you look at that pilot sitting in a cockpit, you know, something could happen to him, and it might be your fault. You better not ever make a mistake. You better be very detail-oriented. And around here, my wife said, you know, if I walk past a picture and it's off a little bit, I got to straighten it. And it drives my wife crazy. I saw it on YouTube, somebody making American flags, and me, I'm an American flag junkie. I saw how they were made, and I said, well, I like doing things with my hands. I work at a furniture store, and we get a lot of our products on pallets, and I just break them down and use the wood. First thing I want to do is make sure I cut the board straight. That's really important. Each board's different. There's none of them alike. They're not straight. You have to square them off. You have to cut the stripes to the T. You can't leave any gaps in them. I'm concentrating on doing it right. I like to look at the grain in it because I burn them with a torch and it brings all the grain out. The better the grain, the prettier it gets. Before the military, I was kind of a rebel, but now I take my family really, really serious. And the military had a lot to do with that. I just started taking things more serious, things that I have to take serious. Yeah, instead of just pushing them aside, I take everything serious now. I give it more thought. That's Sydney Madison, the squad girl. Huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the girl. One of our relatives took in a child as a foster child, and they had her for about 1.5 years. And during that time, she was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy, which is a life-threatening illness. Your muscles break down over time. And it was just a lot for them to deal with. They had 2 small children of their own. Then all of a sudden, she had 10 doctors, and they just couldn't keep up with it. The state was going to take her back. But we already fell in love with her. She was like our granddaughter for 1.5 years. We decided to go ahead and take her. Once a year, there's a big fundraiser for spinal muscular atrophy to find a cure. They already have the treatment, but they have to find a cure. When I found out I could do something to help, yeah, I jumped all over that. I said, man, I never thought about that before. It's perfect. You know, they have a silent auction, and they keep the money to try to find a cure for them. And last year I donated a small one. This year I'm donating a big one. Yeah, that's great. It does my heart good. For what I'm doing for my daughter, I'm nowhere near a hero. The only heroes they have the guys that went to defend our country and didn't come back. I consider them heroes. Me, I'm not a hero. I'm just doing something for a child that I think God wants me to do it. And I'm glad he picked me, really, because she's a great little girl.
I love you, Pumpkin.
So I tell her all the time, I love you, Pumpkin. When I went in the Navy, they kind of polished me up a little bit. And I got out, and I was a whole different person. I was more polished. I mean, I knew a lot more. My attitude was a lot different. It did a world of good for me. And that's the same thing with a pallet. I mean, look at it, it's a pallet. It's 2x4s with some scrap wood nailed to it, you know. You take it off of there, you refine it, you polish it up, and you make a flag out of it. It's something beautiful, something to hang on the wall and keep forever. If you look around my house and you look in my shop, I got American flags everywhere. I love my country. Greatest country on earth.